lighting together. Pack up your issues and pack up your books. Go up. Oh, y'all, this is my jam. Hold on. At some point, y'all, let me give me some of that Be Simone beauty, but let me give me some of that Be Simone. Hello, my loves. It is I, Miss Milan. We are back again here on the YouTube. Now I'm going to do it because I have learned if you are not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button at the bottom. But I mean, I may remind you after about 5 or so minutes after you get into this conversation. And if you're not following me on social media, make sure you follow me on Instagram at milan.ism. If you have a Patreon, make sure you subscribe on Patreon at Milanism, no period, milanism on Patreon. I have a Twitter too, but we'll get into that later. We'll get into that. So, I want to talk to my single ladies. This is the Single Girls Club, a channel for women who are single and looking to be fulfilled in their single life. Not to say that we are not open to relationships, but that's not our main focus. We have careers, we have children, we have other goals that require our attention right now. So that's what we're focused on. And when you're single, you have to find ways to be happy. You have to find ways to be fulfilled and content with yourself so that you're still open to the possibility of love. Not saying you're looking to dive into a relationship, but if a relationship should happen to trip you and you stumble. I really wanted to address something that we don't really talk about a lot in singleness. There's like 2 levels to singleness. You're either, oh, I'm overjoyed, I'm happy, or I really want a man. I really want a man. There's really only 2 levels of being a single woman portrayed. However, there is the middle ground of being a fulfilled single woman. She's happy in her life. She's happy with her career. She may be still striving in some areas. She's happy if she's a parent. She's happy as a parent. If she is an entrepreneur, she's striving in her business. If she's a traveler, she's out there. She's out there, she's in there, she's doing her thing. There are a couple of things though, as I've done my research, that a lot of people haven't quite addressed about being a single woman, which makes me wonder, are you people actually single? Y'all are missing some things. A little bit about my personal story. I have not always been a celibate woman. Not at all. But over recent years, that part of my life, as far as dating and intimacy, has slowed down tremendously. Not because it hasn't been offered. As I've grown wiser, I've been more selective about the people that I've made certain choices with. That said, that pushes you out from a lot of different experiences, people, friendships, but it's okay because it's a choice. You understand what those type of relationships can lead to down the road, so you're not making the same choices as you were 5 years ago. 5 years ago was a good time. No harm, no foul. Thank you, 5 years ago. There are 3 things that I want to talk about in this video, and the third is something that I haven't seen anywhere in any research. No one has talked about, but via experience. Things you should know. I am an entrepreneur. I have moved around quite a bit. Right now, I work out of my home office. So, single life, loneliness, standards, that is my oyster. 3 reasons why single women are so lonely. Number 1, a lot of us struggle to get out into the world. We struggle to form communities outside of work. Work, not the work. Not the work community, not the work friends, and not the work boyfriends, sis. We're not talking about that. However, work is a community. If you're an entrepreneur like me, you can accidentally tend to isolate yourself from communities because this is 2020. Years prior, I want to say I got into my career about 2014. 2014, it was all about hustle, 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 move, 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 get it, get it, get it. And when you are elevating in that way, you understand the importance of the communities that you are in. And you understand that there are a lot of communities that will no longer serve you, so you distance yourself from those communities. However, throwing the baby out with the bathwater sometimes. Communities are people with like agendas, like minds, like thinkings, who want to progress and who want to do and achieve the same types of things that you do. As we progress in life, it becomes increasingly difficult in the adult world to find communities that suit you just right. And for a single woman, the motivation sometimes to get there and to find those communities can be overwhelming. It can. A lot of single women, we are inundated all the time with Tinder, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, Christian Mingle. We often overlook the accessibility of communities. Meetup. Go out to meetups. Find people who have common interests. Number 2. Friendships. For some reason, after the age of, 21, it just seems really difficult to make female friends. A lot of single women, because we are not engaged in communities, it's difficult to find ways to make friendships. You see, those 2 things are kind of hand in hand. Friends are women who support you, women who uphold and uplift you without judgment. Maybe a little shade, but without judging where you're at or who you are at the time. Because at a certain point, we understand that people grow and people evolve. Growth, evolution, it's inevitable if you are progressing and if you're trying to progress as a person. And that's all we want to see. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to continue the same mistakes, to continue repetition. Friendships seem to be a bit harder to come by for single women. And we downplay the importance of friendships. When you don't have someone there to uplift you and you're doing it alone, when you don't have people there to stand by your side, when you're going through difficult times, it can be a very lonely and isolating feeling. And number 3, the top reason why so many single women feel lonely is because as humans, we look for companionship. It is a natural human desire. Some of us have forgotten that because we've learned how to be strong. We've learned how to power through the hardships alone. We've learned how to take on skills so that we wouldn't have to depend on anyone. We've learned how to make ends meet. We've learned how to live with less and do more, because as a single woman, people don't see you in your wholeness. They see you as an able-bodied person at all times. You can make it happen, you can push through, you can power forward. And you learn to be so strong that you almost learn to invalidate your own feelings. A lot, and I believe majority of the reason why so many single women are lonely is because they are lacking the support of a good person. When you don't have that person to share good news with, when you don't have that person to lean on for support, you understand that you have to be so strong in situations where other people may have support of a spouse, a significant other, a friend, a family member. And at that moment, when you realize you don't have those things, you have to be strong. But what that does is it teaches you to move past your feelings rather than moving through them. So a lot of the reason that single women are so lonely is because they don't have anyone there to consider their feelings with them, to tell them that it's okay to be sad right now because what you're telling me is a sad situation and I'm here to cry with you. I'm here to be upset with you. There is a sector of single women who are not in a place where they want to make friends because they understand the community that they are in, and they understand that that community is not conducive to them. Single women, unattached single women, it may be time to move because you can. You have that convenience. It may, you can do that. It's your decision. So, here are my tips for these single women to help with the loneliness. Now, we are human beings. You're going to have some amazing days. Just like marriage or any other relationship, you are in a relationship with yourself. You're going to have some amazing days, and you're going to have some days where you just feel like you're going to have all of those days. It's true. Everybody has those days. It's not because we're single, it's because we're human. Here are my tips. Forming friendships. Understand something. I know that some of us have been hurt by friendships before, especially single women. We've tried it, we've been there. But what we have to understand is friendship is love. Love sometimes doesn't last forever. Sometimes it's the best 4 years with that person, and it's okay to experience that time with that person. Open yourself to love. Open yourself to friendships and bond over what you bond over. Life is about the highlights, the individual reels, the individual memories that come together to make the full picture. Next tip, communities. Now, communities can be organizations, people who have similar interests as you. If you are a red hatter type, if you are a Greek letter organization type, if you are a social organization type, find a community with people with similar interests. Understand this is going to be a lot like the work environment, but work environment is multifaceted. It serves as a place where you can find people with similar interests. It serves as meeting your antagonist. But all of it is good entertainment, and all of it makes for a good life. That's why we watch reality TV, right? Next thing, get a roommate. For some of us, it's not necessarily a go out into the world thing. For some of us, it is great to have someone in proximity who's another human being. Not necessarily that you talk every day. Maybe you talk every day. Maybe you don't. Maybe you spend 2 weeks together having an awesome time. Maybe you spend a week apart because you need your space. Work it out however you need to work it out. But some of us just need another person in the immediate vicinity to feel a part of the outside world. Tip: rearrange your space to suit you. Now, everybody's space is different. As you can see, I have a little space going on back here. It's inspiring. Don't quit your daydream. When I walk into my door, the first thing I see is, hello. You know? Make your ambiance what you need for it to be for you. Understand that your schedule, your lifestyle is not like everyone else's. You can read all of the self-help books in the world, but they're not you. They may give you a guideline, but they aren't you. So, make your space what you need it to be for you to be efficient. Personally, I am a midday napper. I nap like I have a 9 to 5. Sometime between 4 and 7, you're going to catch me napping. However, I also work anywhere from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's my schedule. So I make things happen for my schedule. I drink green tea when I wake up for the second part of my day. Everybody has a different thing that will suit them. But if you find yourself rearranging your life and you find yourself buying more things to potentially make yourself happy, be sure that it's not the space that needs rearranging. Because if you rearrange your space and you're still not comfortable in your own space, maybe it ain't your space that you're not comfortable in. Be comfortable with your own company. And the last tip that I have for single women who are looking to be a little less lonely: find a hobby. Hobbies don't mean things that you do for money. Hobbies mean things that you do for mindfulness. Designing your life, things that you do that bring you simple pleasure. Maybe your hobby is collecting stamps. My personal hobby has become cooking. I have been an amateur chef for 2 years, and I just made my first chicken vermicelli a week ago. Or is it vermicelli? Y'all let me know in the comments what it is. Just phonetically spell that for me. Find a hobby. There's golf, there's tennis. If you're not a sports girl, there's outdoors. We all need a little nature. Make sure y'all are going outside. Make sure you're exercising. Not necessarily for looks, but for health, sis. We gotta breathe right. We have to do right. All of that. There's bird watching. There's bowling. There's ice skating. There's knitting. Making ceramics. This says hello gorgeous, by the way. Making goods. Making baked goods. Programming. Studying religion. Spirituality. There are so many things that you can find to invest your time in. Because the things that you invest your time in ultimately make you a better person. Ultimately make you a more well-rounded person. And that is what the single journey is about. The journey to self. The journey to making you your best self for you. So that in the event that you do decide to share yourself with a spouse, a significant other, a friend, or family, you give them the best, most authentic, whole you. Peace, love, light, prosperity, all those good things. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at milan.ism. And if you haven't tuned into my podcast, The Writer's Block, on Anchor or Spotify, make sure you do so.